Good evening and welcome to Etown News. I'm Ella Kocher.
And I'm Veith. An update on the faculty cuts, the 31st Into the Streets celebration, and more coming up right after this.
Elizabethtown College has our own student-run radio station here in Steinman. Students in any year can join to be a DJ and there's no prior experience needed. We have many great DJs for this semester. To listen to our DJs, tune in on the radio or use the TuneIn app to listen to WWEC 88.3, the sound of Elizabethtown.
The recent round of faculty and program cuts caused an uproar from students. The cuts included 13 professors and 3 majors: sociology, fine arts, and Spanish. Last week on Thursday, October 17th at 4 p.m. in Hoover 212, students were given the opportunity to have their voices heard. The student assembly at the college invited members of the campus to attend a meeting regarding these cuts. The meeting was held by Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Talene, who offered insights into the recent cuts. Following the presentation, students were invited to offer their perspective and ask any questions they might have had.
This past Friday, Elizabethtown College held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new Penn Medicine Elizabethtown College Medical Center. College President Betty Ryder spoke to the crowd, celebrating the success of the new facility. She was joined by members of the community, along with partners from Penn Medicine. Although the ribbon was cut in October, the center opened in August and offers a variety of services for all students on campus. It is located at 530 East Cedar Street, across from Ober Residence. For information regarding hours and how to schedule an appointment, visit the link provided below.
The Center for Community and Civic Engagement had their 31st annual Into the Streets event last Saturday. Into the Streets is Elizabethtown College's annual day of service, where Blue Jays go out into the community to volunteer with great organizations in the Elizabethtown area. Some of these organizations include Echoes, Onto, and Gears. Students could sign up as part of a group or as an individual. All volunteers gathered in the cab before scattering across the Susquehanna Valley. For some Blue Jays, volunteering is an important part of their Elizabethtown College experience. Students could also register to vote in the cab before leaving for their community service.
This October's round of intramural signups is now live. You can now sign up for a variety of sports, including basketball, pickleball, spikeball, and ping pong. Signups opened on October 14th and will be closed this Friday, October 25th. If you're interested in rounding up a group of friends for any of these intramural sports, you can create an account and register at imleagues.com/etown. Registration is free and open to all students. Have questions? Contact intramurals at etown.edu for more information.
Elizabethtown College and Live Etown are partnering once again to host the 3rd annual Halloween Parade. The parade will take place on Sunday, October 27th. The festivities will kick off with the parade and costume contest on College Ave from 6:30 to 7:30 and will be followed by the Trunk or Treat on Alpha Drive from 7:30 to 8:30. There will also be merchandise sales in the Academic Quad and a food truck sale in the Hoover Center parking lot. ECTV will be live streaming the parade. If you can't watch it, you will be able to find the recording on our YouTube channel at ECTV40.
This Friday, October 25th, OSA will be hosting an outdoor movie night. The event will take place at 8 p.m. in the Dell. The screening will be a double feature, including a couple of classics like Ghostbusters and Scream. If you plan on going, remember to bring a chair or a blanket. OSA will be providing s'mores and popcorn for all who attend. In the event of rain, the night will take place in Gibble Auditorium. All are welcome and no registration is required. Now, here's Gwen with your weekly sports update.
Thanks, Will. It was a strong weekend for our Etown athletics this past Saturday. The women's cross-country team kicked the day off in Glassboro, New Jersey for the Rowan Interregional Border Battle. The team finished 5th out of 31 teams and all 5 Blue Jays had standout days. 5th-year Kelty Oster paced the group with a 15th place finish. Senior Maureen Bozak and sophomore Keely Fitzgerald earned top 50 finishes, finishing 39th and 47th. Junior Gwen Young crossed the line in 72nd, and junior Isabel Anderson rounded out a superb day for Etown with an 89th place finish. The men's side took 12 out of 30 teams that day. 3 Blue Jays finished inside the top 100, including a top 50 finish from senior Daniel Myers, who came home in 38th. Senior Nolan Pettit and Carson Wiley were the other top 100 finishers, earning 88th and 96th place finishes. Junior Benjamin Ortiz finished in 116th, and junior Marty Ratchford finished right behind him in 117th. Up next, the teams will race in the Landmark Conference Championship in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. The men's race will begin at 11 a.m., and the women will soon follow after at 12 p.m. The women's volleyball team struggled in their doubleheader at home on Saturday. They started the day against Scranton University, where they'd be shut out 3-0. Scranton dominated all 3 sets, winning them 25-13, 25-11, and 25-20. The match against Albright College would be much of the same. The Blue Jays were more competitive in this one, but would once again lose 3-0. Albright would take the sets 25-17, 25-16, and 25-23. These losses moved the Jays 14-9 with 6 games to go. The team will get back on the court on Friday at 6 p.m. against Catholic University in Washington, D.C. On Saturday, the Blue Jay field hockey team welcomed Wilkes University to Wolf Field for their senior day matchup. Etown dominated the day, taking this one 5-0. 8 players were celebrated in the pregame festivities, and once the opening whistle sounded, both teams were fired up and ready to get the game started. The Blue Jays came to play and controlled the time of possession, moving the ball with patience and precision. They would outshoot Wilkes 24-4. The defensive side of the field also played a phenomenal game. This imposing defense would pay off early, as defense would transition to offense. Junior midfielder Drew Bridges scored twice within the first 9 minutes to give Etown a 2-goal cushion at the half. The offensive chances kept coming in the second half. While the Blue Jays wouldn't score in the third quarter, they were finding their opportunities. Wilkes made some key stops to keep it close, but they'd run out of luck once the fourth quarter opened up. Bridges found the net again in the 46th minute to give her a hat trick, the first of her career. 2 more Jays would score before this one was over. Senior forward Riley Stefan capitalized off a deflected shot and redirected it through the defense for the 4th goal of the day. Later, sophomore forward Mia Fino steadied a pass near the post and sent it past the goalie for Etown's 5th goal, securing a 5-0 shutout victory. This win marks the 5th win of the season, moving the team to 5-9. This Saturday, they'll take on Goucher College in Baltimore, Maryland at 1 p.m. On the soccer field, the women's soccer team continued their scorching hot season. They captured their 8th win of the season on Saturday over Wilkes University, 2-1. The Blue Jays soared out in front early on the back of junior midfielder Jenna Hoffman, who found the back of the net in the 3rd minute. This was her 4th goal of the season. In the second half, Etown built up a 2-goal advantage after first-year forward Kayla Meyer notched her 3rd goal of the season in the 58th minute. Wilkes would narrow the deficit to 1 just a minute later, but the Blue Jays were able to preserve the lead and move to 8-3-3 on the season. Next up, Etown takes Moravian University at home tonight at 7 p.m. The men's team has built up some momentum in the recent weeks, as they picked up another win on Saturday against Wilkes 1-0. Etown dominated from start to finish, unleashing 25 shots in the opposing half and holding Wilkes to just 2. The lone goal came from junior forward Pedro Venant, who struck gold in the 75th minute for his 2nd goal of the year. The Blue Jays now have a record of 5-6-3 and will travel to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania for a matchup against Moravian tonight at 7 p.m. In the professional sports world, Week 7 of the 2024 NFL season took place this past weekend. The Detroit Lions handed the Minnesota Vikings their first loss of the season, 31-29, thanks to a game-winning field goal by rookie kicker Jake Bates. The Green Bay Packers also earned a nail-biting win off a game-winning field goal. Newly signed kicker Brandon McManus booted one through the uprights to give the Packers a 24-22 victory for their 5th win of the season. The Kansas City Chiefs remained undefeated this past week, taking down the San Francisco 49ers 28-18. While Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes struggled, the defense made some key plays, intercepting 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy 3 times. They are now the last undefeated team in the league. The WNBA crowned a champion this past Sunday. The New York Liberty ended their 28-year championship drought, defeating the Minnesota Lynx 67-62 in overtime. While the Liberty's star players struggled, the supporting cast played a huge role in this win, including 13 points each from rookie Leonie Fevich and bench player Naira Sabali. That's all for your sports updates. Now here's Layla Murphy with your weekly weather report.
Thanks, Gwen. Welcome to the Weekly Weather Watch, where we cover the weather once a week, rain or shine. I'm your host, Layla Murphy. Today, Wednesday the 23rd, is mostly sunny with a high of 78 and a low of 50. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny with a high of 62 and a low of 37. Friday will be partly cloudy with a high of 64 and a low of 49. There will be more clouds on Saturday, and we will have a high of 65 and a low of 46. It'll be partly cloudy on Sunday with a high of 62 and a low of 45. Monday will be mostly sunny, and we will have a high of 64 and a low of 47. And we'll see more clouds on Tuesday with a high of 70 and a low of 53. Thanks for tuning in to our weekly weather watch. I'm Layla Murphy. See you next week. Now back to Ella and Will.
In politics, both presidential candidates have been continuing on the campaign trail. Former President Donald Trump made a spot at McDonald's in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, to hand out food to some of his supporters. "I've now worked for 15 minutes longer than Kamala," Trump said, claiming that Vice President Harris lied about her previous job at McDonald's. Vice President Harris spoke at a few church services in Georgia last week. She encouraged Black churchgoers to cast their votes as part of her Souls for the Polls push. She had the support of the majority of Black voters, but this support is lower than Biden's was in 2020. Georgia and Pennsylvania are both battleground states that could turn the tide of the election. Only time will tell what difference these campaigns made.
In pop culture news, Ariana Grande's episode of Saturday Night Live brought in the largest viewership since Elon Musk hosted in 2021. Grande, who hosted the show with special music guest Stevie Nicks, drew 5.6 million viewers in live and same-day viewing. One Direction singer Liam Payne sadly passed away on Wednesday. Payne, who was 31 at the time, fell from his hotel balcony in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Payne is best known as one of the 5 members of One Direction, and for a successful solo career after the band went on hiatus. Shawn Mendes will be releasing a new album titled Shawn after a 4-year hiatus in the music industry. Mendes took the extended break for his mental health and plans to come back strong with this self-titled album. Could the Menendez brothers get a retrial? After the widespread success of the Netflix miniseries Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, the brothers could see freedom for the first time since 1996. The Menendez family hopes new evidence will allow a retrial and eventually release for the brothers, who killed their parents in 1989.
That's all for this week, Jays. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at ECTV40 for all of the latest updates on our shows. I'm Ella Kocher.
And I'm Will Veith. Have a great week, and remember to
Take flight, Etown.